What up, ProRevenger? Posted by you/SunnySorceress00. Break my coffee mug. Enjoy your time in prison. So, I probably won't be posting on here often, but I've been watching a lot of r/ on YouTube, and it made me want to share this story with all of you. Hope you guys enjoy this tale. A bit of background, this isn't my own personal revenge story, so I may be missing some of the details. This was shared with me by my older sister, I won't use her real name so I'll just call her Sissy, about her old manager from one of her favorite past jobs. It was at this really nice restaurant where she worked pretty much every position you could have. Sissy became friends with a lot of the people there, but she was really close to her manager named Angie, not actually her name obviously. Angie became my sister's manager after my sister had gotten hired, maybe 4 or 5 months, was very much a no bullshit kind of person. She expected her employees to do their jobs and do them well, but she always had their backs. If they felt she did something that was unfair to them, they were free to bring up the issue to her and she would happily make things right. If a customer was being an asshole to them, she'd kick them out and ban them from the restaurant for, apparently, once they had a Karen that was so disrespectful, Angie yelled after kicking her out, "If you ever come in here again, I'll launch my foot so far up your ass, the doctor will have to pick bits of my heels from your teeth." My sister said her motto was, "Customers may be the heart of a company, but employees are the brain. Without the brain, the heart won't pump." I only met Angie once when going to eat at the restaurant with my parents as a treat from my sister while visiting her and her family, and she was super nice to all of us. She even let us order any dessert from the menu and paid for it herself. Basically, just a really great person all around. Anyway, the story really starts about 1 month after my sister was hired. She was really enjoying her work, except for one thing, one of the waiters. His fake name will be Kevin. He was a total creep and constantly harassed the women on staff. He was also really lazy and hardly showed up to work on time. This was hard for everyone, because things would get really crazy there by the dinner rush. Worst, he was kind of racist. He wasn't on the level of "I think anyone who isn't white should die," but he would often make feeble attempts at dark jokes like, "I don't think I'll ever eat at a Chinese restaurant, I love dogs too much," or make Holocaust jokes in front of their Jewish coworker. Sissy is pretty sure thinks the only reason he got hired was because he was the son of the owner's friend. Then, the old manager retires and in walks Angie, an African American, self-made, tough as nails woman who takes no BS. Needless to say, Kevin had met his match. After a while, when the staff got to know her and realized she's on their side, they start reporting Kevin for everything: the harassment, the laziness, the racial jokes, and she reprimands him. He, of course, doesn't listen, and complaints come back up. Angie then pulls him aside and lays down the law. She can't actually fire him then, as they unfortunately didn't have any evidence to do anything, but she warns him that if she hears any more complaints, his ass is toast. Let's just say Kevin did not like being told off by her. Some time passes, and it seems like Kevin has listened to her. He's shut his mouth and is actually putting effort into his work. But, he and Angie still do not like each other. My sister said he would constantly give Angie death glares and flip her off when she wasn't looking. No one thought much of it, just someone who got embarrassed and needs to grow up. But, then, one day, just before everyone prepares to go home for the night, Angie's coffee mug goes missing. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but this is devastating to Angie. This cup is not actually worth much money, it's just a standard ceramic pink mug with the inscription H.B.I.C, that means head bitch in charge for those who don't know, but this mug is very sentimental to Angie. This mug was a graduation gift from her younger brother, who she was extremely close to. She and him were best friends. However, this mug wasn't just a graduation gift, it was the last gift she ever got from him. Before she worked with my sister, her brother was tragically murdered in a hate crime for being gay. I guess to help cope, Angie always kept that mug with her and drank every bit of coffee in it. Even when she went to get Starbucks, she wouldn't actually drink it in the cup provided. She'd pour it into her special mug. It's something she hardly ever part with. So, as you can imagine, she is completely freaking out. Her usual cool and domineering demeanor is gone and is replaced by panic and tears. Everyone starts pitching in to find it. Which they do. But not in way they hoped. The mug, which was previously in the break room, is now in the corner of the kitchen, completely shattered. Angie, of course starts bawling. Everyone is consoling her, telling her they could fix it, there was no way they could fix it, and just trying their best to calm her down. Everyone except, of course, Kevin. He's just standing off to the side like an idiot. After she finally calms down, everyone starts trying to wonder how it got there to begin with. A waitress suggests that maybe she brought it there without remembering, but there's no way in hell she'd forget that. Everyone gets asked if they brought it in the kitchen, which they all deny. They know not to mess with that cup. But my sister notices that Kevin looks a bit off. Like he's trying not to make eye contact with anyone. He doesn't seem all that concerned or sorry for Angie. Sissy starts putting two and two together and comes to the conclusion that Kevin must have taken and smashed it. She accuses him, and he, of course, denies it. "What are you talking about, Sissy? I'd never do anything that cruel." But it's painfully obvious he's lying and actually seems like he's trying not to laugh. Angie starts screaming at him, cursing at him, and other things like that, but he keeps denying it. The owner has to intervene and tells Angie he's sorry about her mug, but they can't just accuse someone without proof. So, everyone leaves for the day. One of the wait staff tries to tell her to just let it go and that Kevin isn't worth her time. But Angie refuses to let it go. This little bastard got a little mad because she reprimanded her for things that were his fault, so he destroyed her most valuable possession. She can't let that go unpunished. So, she and a few of the staff, including my sister, start scheming. The first thing Angie does is go online and legit starts to look up hidden mics for sale. Her plan is to have one of the staff to secretly record him admitting he destroyed her mug. She tells several of the staff she knows she can trust and they agree to it. One of the waitresses who Kevin is very much attracted to volunteers, and they execute the plan. The mic, which costed I think $150 but I don't think Angie cared, is positioned to where it can hear everything the scumbag says. Once it's in place, the waitress, fake name, Tracy, starts to hang out with him any chance she gets. I don't know if he was stupid or if he just really wanted to get in her pants, but he bought it hook, line, and sinker. He was totally convinced she actually was into him and he starts talking. They continue the sting for as long as needed. At first, they don't get anything except typical conversation things, and a lot of gross comments from Kevin. Kevin would also diss Angie a lot, calling her some pretty horrible names, spewing out racial slurs like they were candy, and talking about how terrible she is for daring to tell him to do his damn job. Tracy decides to feed into this, making it look like she feels the sentiment with him. But they don't get what they want for a while. Angie even wonders if she was wrong about him destroying. Then, they finally get the confession, and so much more. After work one day, Tracy goes up to Angie and my sister and whispers, "You need to listen to this now." So they go to Angie's apartment, and they listen to the recorded conversation during lunch break. Tracy of course buttering him up, flirting with him, and then this happens. Tracy, "Hey, can I tell you something?" Kevin, "What is it?" Tracy, "I have something to confess, You know when Angie's mug got broken? Kevin, yeah? Tracy, well, it was me. I kinda wanted to get under her skin, but I think I may have gone too far. I feel really guilty over it, but I didn't have anyone I really trusted to vent about it until now. I hope you don't think I'm a psycho or something. Kevin, being the dumbass he is, there's no way you did that. Tracy, I know, it's totally unlike. Kevin, no. I mean there's literally no physical way you could have. Tracy, what are you wait, how do you know? Kevin is silent for a minute. Tracy, oh my god. Did you do it? Kevin, very nonchalantly, okay, yeah. That was me. Tracy, laughs, she deserved it a bit. At this point, Angie and my sister are already wanting to celebrate and hand it over to the owner, but Tracy shushes them and tells them to listen some more. They talk about some other things for a while, and then Kevin idiotically admits to Tracy he's a drug addict. He even tells her if she ever wants to buy some, he can hook her up with his dealer. At this point, Angie and Sissy have their jaws dropped at what they're hearing. This dumbass has just given them gift, all wrapped up in a pretty little bow. The next day, they immediately tell the owner, who calls the police. Kevin is arrested and fired, and the police ended up doing a search of his apartment. They ended up finding crystal meth in his apartment, and he and his dealer got put away for a good long while. Now, both my sister and Angie have moved on to new careers, but they're still in contact. Angie has actually gotten married and has even adopted a few kids. They still laugh about their little scheme and often wonder what Kevin's doing now. As for me, I have nothing but respect for Angie for the unbelievable lengths she went to get justice. All I can say is that I really hope I get a boss as kick-ass as her someday.